Turin's already on. Hi,
Hello.
Turin.
So, today is going to be the last day that you will see Neon.
What?
Oh, my love.
Nan's gonna be gone.
It's a sad day.
Yes.
Very sad.
Well, we are on YouTube or Facebook, but not yet on YouTube. Hi, Penny.
Hello.
Laura, Andrea, Karen,
Wow.
Jolene,
Hello,
Sylvia.
everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year,
Happy
Jolene.
New Year.
And everyone.
I guess we haven't
Happy
been
New
on
Year.
since New Year.
No,
have
we haven't.
Oh, that was our big bomb. My goodness, that show was a disaster.
Our New Year's show.
So if you saw our New Year's disaster how to sort paperwork show, we re-recorded it today so that we won't have all the technical issues.
Yeah.
All right, so I am Tara. This is
Jill.
and
Crazy
Oh.
on a dime.
Michael.
Now all the YouTube people are on too. Hey,
Mom and
Farmer
I.
Mima.
This is my mother. We are the authors of the Dining on a Dime Cookbook, 1,200 Ways to Save on Your Grocery Bill Without Using Coupons and Without.
Warehouses. Warehouses.
Yes.
Bear houses with
And
that.
Mom
Warehouses.
is the author of Penny Pinch Mama, 500 Ways I Spend $500 a Month. And just so you don't watch the whole YouTube video and say, what? This is Mom's last day. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh, yeah, right.
dun,
You were wanting to auction me off a little while ago.
Oh. So this is Mom's last show.
Michelle says Happy New Year. I'm looking at 5 bags to donate.
Whoa!
Yay!
Good
Good job.
Hi, Penny.
I've gotten a couple of pictures from people showing me their donate stuff. Okay, so Mom is
Hi,
leaving
Angie.
in an hour and a half. Mom is going to be gone. This
And
is a sad
Donna.
day.
Yep, gonna be gone a little
Oh,
bit.
no.
She's leaving in an hour and a half, and we won't see her
See
again.
me again.
Wait, what?
Aha!
So today, we couldn't get it together enough to come up with a show. So we're taking your organizing questions. I don't care what it's about. I don't care what room it is. I don't care if it's clothes, paperwork, your husband.
Jonathan Williams
We won't
says,
go there.
sorry to see Miss Jill go for a
Oh,
while.
I know.
Well, we did record a bunch of stuff with her.
Yeah, we
so-
have recorded a bunch.
So it'll appear that she's here if you weren't here to find out that she's not.
So we're taking your organizing questions. So it's going to be a slow show today. If no one puts a
everybody's
question up there.
organized. We don't have any questions.
Let's see. What did we film today for the future so you guys will know? How to lose weight when you don't have a big grocery budget.
And portion control combined.
And you can't give away the whole secret.
I'm sorry. Snow is coming in. Oh, great.
And then what else did we film? We filmed Mom's story, different segments of her story, like how she spent on groceries when she lived on $500 a month, how she paid for a car, how she paid for a house.
Dave. Oh, never mind.
Oh dear, this is not good if Mike's already gone.
Mike's already leaving. That means we're in big trouble.
And we did a few kitchen tips.
And kitchen tips out.
And we did a few about our family. Michael had a purging this weekend. The show
Oh,
inspired him. We're going to show Michael's purging of the papers.
He's got a few sacks of his own that he got rid of.
A few,
Well, trash cans.
2 trash cans full of stuff he got rid of.
Yes, I did. Well, yeah, we have one giant recycling can that's filled to the top with paper, and then I had 4 bags of shredded paper for sensitive things, and
Your
then whole
mother-in-law
bunches of
inspired you.
cleared out some photo albums from before I knew Tara. What's all this? So,
Oh.
All right, so let's see if we have any questions. Otherwise, we'll just sit here and
Oh,
look good
no.
for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh,
really.
no. Oh, no.
sorry, questions. Well, you're already doing questions?
Yep.
Donna says, so 3 bags of yarn, 8 boxes of books, 3 bookshelves, a glider rocker, a coffee table, and 2 end tables gone.
Good job, Donna.
Way to go!
Philosophy Phoenix says, how do you organize your financial papers, bills, invoices to help you budget?
To help you budget.
Well,
So, is that an organizing your paper question or how to do a budget?
budgeting question.
Yeah.
Organize your financial papers, bills.
Well, You burn them all and just hope nobody comes after you. No. What we do is when we get a bill, we open up the envelope at the trash can, throw away the envelope it came in, throw away any other papers they put in there, and then we stick it in a file folder that's standing up, right, vertical, and then Mike pays them like once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Another way, I had a couple once that I helped them.
Hold still, you have it.
I know,
There.
it's driving me crazy.
Oops.
Thanks. I had a couple I helped once, and they couldn't do, they had trouble keeping track of their bills, and the same type of thing. What do they pay, at the first of the month, last of the month? And they had a calendar that they would write, as soon as the bill came in, they would write that bill in red, and then they would know they had to pay that bill on the first, or this bill on the end of the day, and so they could kind of judge their paychecks that came in each week, and that really seemed to help them when they wrote every bill down. Then at the end of the week, or whenever they figured out their budget, they could see what bills were due for that week right there on the calendar.
And the other thing is, don't pay for fun stuff until your bills are paid.
Exactly.
Period. I mean, sorry, but if you haven't paid your bills and you're wanting to go to the movies,
You can't do it.
Don't.
Yeah, you've got to get those bills paid first of
you
all.
got to make
and
it a
then
priority.
Do it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, next.
Oh, Jonathan was just saying 2 trash cans. Yes, great job. Thanks.
Yes,
Someone
he
was
did.
someone
There's
asking
like 2
about.
more left, but there's not enough space to put it out on the trash day, so I'm gonna wait till after that to clear out the rest.
Did someone ask about organizing hats and gloves? I think, and mittens and that type of thing.
Well, not just now, but possibly earlier.
Yeah.
Can you go get our Entryway, how to organize your Entryway YouTube video?
Oh, yeah.
What Tar does, what did you want to tell them what you do?
Oh no.
What I do is Mike's going to try and go get our video of how to organize your Entryway. And in that video, I show how I organize those things, which is with a shoe holder. So I put a shoe holder on the inside of my closet that's by my front door, the coat closet. And then in each pocket, I have 2 or 3 pairs of gloves, and I have a hat or 2, and I have the umbrellas and the raincoats. And I there's like 20 pockets. And I put them in there. And I do have extras of everything because...
The small entryway or closet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the entryway?
The closet
Closet.
one. The closet one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have doubles and triples of gloves and hats because if we go sledding in Colorado or whatever and it gets wet, we'll need it to exchange. So
I always before the kids left in the morning made sure, just because I was paranoid in Kansas it gets so cold and they walk to school, would make sure they have gloves in one pocket of their jacket and an extra hat. Even if they had a hood on their coat, I made sure they had a hat in the other pocket. And so they always kept those 2 things in their jackets.
Yep.
And then I had just an extra basket that I kept extra hats and gloves in. And I do in the car too. I keep an extra set, 2
and
or 3.
I use one of those clear comforter or sheet, the clear zippy sheet things for my car because we have so many people, and I put about 10 pairs of gloves and about 6 or 8 hats and a few scarves in that. And that I keep for emergency, always in the car in the winter, so that if we go up to the mountains and we get stranded, we're not going to be caught cold because, it's very possible. So I just take that whole bag out and put it in the closet in the summer and bring it out and put it in the car in the winter. And then I don't have to go back and forth looking for stuff.
I have, even though I'm by myself, I have a bag with extra gloves, and I use scarves a lot instead of hats, because that way they can use it as a scarf or a hat, either one, for emergency in the car.
And one time we went up to Estes Park, and I am not exaggerating. It was the day after Thanksgiving. It was 75 degrees down here. No hint of weather whatsoever. We went up to Estes Park. It was snowing and 20 degrees, and we all about froze. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Are you talking about the time we went to Ender Valley?
No, for the parade, for the Thanksgiving parade. I mean,
that
it
was
was
horrible.
it was so cold. It was
But
miserable.
you can
but-
do like a drawer or anything. Just keep them all in one spot is the main thing. Is
Yeah.
to try to keep them,
Yep.
especially close by the door.
Oh, Marianne says, I'm going to miss you, Jill.
Oh, thank you.
So we had, Liz said, I have someone knit all the same color mittens in case one gets lost.
That's
Yes,
what
really
I did.
good. Yeah.
We bought like a whole pack of black stretchy ones.
So,
That's
you know the black stretchy gloves?
The cheap
I bought
ones.
like 20 pairs of those because
And-
as they get lost, I just replace it.
Now's a good time in the next couple of weeks to start looking for those mittens. I can get them on sale for almost nothing
Yeah.
at almost
I
every
think
store.
I got mine like 10 cents a pair or something in January or February,
Yeah.
and then I stocked up.
And look at places like Joann Fabrics because they go on sale there. They have mittens that they sell.
So we had a couple things here. First of all, Melinda says, hi, Tara, Mike, and Jill, and boys. Hope all is well. Happy New Year.
Happy
Shut
New
up.
Year.
Thank you, Melinda.
Mary said, I have a strenuous job. When I come home, I'm physically exhausted. Usually I eat, leave a plate somewhere, end up falling asleep before I get to clean out my mess, and it seems to pile up. So I guess you didn't have a question, just saying that. Did
What's-
you want to
so
say
one
At
something?
thing-
least get it to the sink.
Well, and another thing too is if you get exhausted at night, can you get up like 15 minutes earlier in the morning or 20 minutes earlier? If you're more of a morning person, you know, you can maybe clean up things up too.
Turid says they have snow right now in Norway. It must be pretty, Turid.
yeah.
It was.
I have a
And
question.
one thing on the plates, if you just get the food rinsed off, even if you don't get them washed, that will save you a ton of time in the morning because the food doesn't get stuck on there. And you
Yeah.
have to get it all
And
off.
another thing, if things are really rough, I don't mind using paper plates.
Yeah, use paper plates.
Use paper plates. They're not
we
that
are
expensive.
all for it.
Use the paper plates because if you're having a problem with keeping on top of things for a while, use the paper
We
plates.
give you permission.
Yes, yes, Dave.
And bowls.
So
Yeah, and
according
bowls.
to Jonathan Williams, mittens are hard to find in Orlando.
I bet they are.
They are.
Do you need us to send you some?
Yeah, but in Orlando, when you need mittens, it's 65 degrees.
That's good.
So Vicky says, I donated 9 bags but didn't take a picture, but it felt so good.
Oh,
Send me an email anyway,
See,
Vicky. I'll put
yeah.
you in the drawing.
isn't that true though? Everybody that does this feels. Michael has been so excited since the day he did this. Haven't you?
Yeah, I get into
How's
that
it
kind of
feel?
mood. It's just I couldn't think of anything else to get rid of, and I suddenly thought, ooh,
I want more.
Taxes.
What happens is you want to
Photo
do
albums.
more and more and more because that feeling. It's almost like what is it when you go
like
running or
addictive. Oh,
something?
it's like
You get that
endorphins, yeah.
endorphins, and once you start doing this cleaning, you just like these endorphins start in you.
totally. Let's see. Susan asks for tips for organizing the attic after you've already purged. Purge
Oh,
more. Just kidding.
you mean okay? What
Well, always make sure for any kind of organizing, you always put
Put
like
like
items together. Always.
Yeah, always put like
Yeah.
items together.
So put all of your memories, stack them up in one spot. Put all your totes in one spot of your memories.
If you have Christmas decorations up there, put those all together.
Put all your Halloween decorations. Put all your extra blankets together.
Yeah.
All if you're storing your kids'
seasonal
stuff.
clothing, put that
Yep.
all together. And you don't need to have a lot of shelving. If you mark the ends of the boxes really good or the ends of the totes, you can usually stack those 3 and 4 deep, without any problem. So you don't need shelving necessarily and stuff.
So Jack thinks you should organize something. What should you organize?
Car keys. Little spare car keys.
Spare
Put them all in
yes.
one place so you
Yes.
can find them, huh?
So that's usually
Yeah.
the way you do. And also, don't pack everything so close together, whether you're organizing a shelf or boxes in the attic. Leave open space like a foot or 2 on each side before you start the next section, because having them 2 smashed together, you can't get into them, you can't maneuver around them.
And don't put too
And-
many totes
Yeah,
together.
only do like
Yeah.
3, maybe 4 at
3
the most.
totes is
3 is
what
I
you
probably
think the
think
good.
lots.
Yeah.
But
Whether and on shelves too, just don't too many.
So Kathy said, you've touched on this, but my husband is a hoarder. He has his multicolored high tops from high school, and he's 51 years old. How can I get him to weed this out so I can
I
actually
think-
park the car in the garage?
I think you need to make them wear them.
Make them wear them. Yeah, exactly. That would be good. Display them on.
with husbands, it's taken me 15 years for Michael to start getting rid of the taxes.
Yeah.
So you just kind of gotta.
Tara and I have been working on
Well, I
them for
got
a
rid of
while.
so much stuff in the early days when we were in Idaho still.
You
I
did.
sold stuff and gave away stuff.
You
and
thought he was on a
trashed
roll
stuff.
then.
Yeah, it's just awesome to find new things that haven't been really new to get rid of. Tanya says, how do I get the kids to get organized, ready for the school the next day?
Oh, wait a minute. Just a second. Kathy, so I think what you need to do with those high tops is tell him you'll buy a new thing of lingerie for everything he gets rid of.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, but then what if he gets rid of 85 things?
Well, they're going to be having fun for a while.
I think it should be for every 10 things he gets rid of.
This gum is fun to chew.
But Tanya wanted to know, how do I get the kids to get ready organized, ready for
First
school?
of all,
So-
you'll have to help them.
Yeah.
You'll have to help them and supervise them for quite a while doing that. And you just have a place for them to put their backpack with all the papers in them. And you just say, do you have your books? And you check it. Do you have your papers for school? Do you have your lunch ready? And you need to check that for a couple of weeks in a row, 2 or 3 weeks,
Give your homework.
and make sure they have their coat, their backpack, and anything else you need lined up right by the door that you leave from. And do that. And make sure they have their clothes laid out at night in the
So
bedroom.
when you go to tuck them in for bed, make sure before they go to bed that
Yeah.
they have that done.
And they want to stall going to bed, so they're willing to do this, work with you on this, you know.
Yeah.
And I would know because
Because you're a
Dave
kid.
says
'cause
he
you-
knows.
He knows because he's done it.
I still do.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. Andrea says, kids, toys, rooms, what are your organization tips?
First of all, is get
Dump.
rid as much as you can.
Dump
get
it,
those
dump it,
toys
dump it.
narrowed down. And part of it, try not, you might, if they're little kids, you might just kind of box it up and let it disappear, you know, when they're younger. Things that isn't their favorite toys, not their
Box
favorite
it up,
stuff.
and then when they ask for it, you can take
can
it out.
take
If
it
they
out.
don't ask for it in 6 months, it goes to the thrift
Yeah,
store.
then you don't worry about it. And it's like any other room. You try to get rid of as much as you can. Put like things together.
Don't have 75 Hot Wheels.
No, they really don't need that many. And you need to make, for example, good way to do to help them get rid of their toys is in the summer, as soon as it warms up, say, let's have a garage sale. And then you can keep all the money from the sale of your toys. You'd be amazed at how many toys they want to get rid of for if they think they're going to get money for it or something like that.
If you don't want to have a garage sale, bribe them. Say,
Yeah, I was gonna
tell
say-
them I'll give you $10
Yeah.
for as many toys. If you get rid of 3 sacks of toys, I'll give you $10.
I would use bribery. I'm all for bribery for that
Yeah.
type of thing. And then just have, you know, you can have, if you have a toy bin, don't have a big toy chest. Those are like the worst things,
We
no
use
demand.
shelves. Only
Use shelves with small bins or boxes. And because a toy box, everything just goes in there, dumped in there together. But you have to keep like things together, and a toy box will not do that. Plus, they're dangerous. You know, sometimes they can fall down on the kids.
Yep.
Yes.
Yay, that's fun.
Let's see. Bunch more.
Solve it.
Penny says, I read that little book when creams ride by. What a beautiful story.
Wasn't that, I love that story.
And Sandra says, Jill, your daughter's mannerisms are just like you.
Is that scary or what?
Scary.
Gordon said, tip on organizing the food you're waiting to use for dinner.
So like leftovers. So for refrigerator stuff, what I do is just make sure, again, you put like items together. We put all of our fruits in the bottom bin of our refrigerator. We put all our vegetables in the second from the bottom bin. Then I'll have all my condiments like sour cream and pickles and larger jars on one shelf. Then on another shelf, I will have things that we are using for that week. And then another shelf, I do leftovers. Now, I will be honest.
Not even saying.
We have 7 people in our house, and even though I get it organized that way, it doesn't stay that way. So it's kind of something that I have to go through and redo every week or 10 days.
Now,
So
did they mean it that way or?
I'm an extremist.
That's
thing.
all I
Yes.
understood.
Apparently, Pat Goff or
Mm-hmm.
something Says, my brother has 10,000 Hot Wheels. He lives in my house and uses his trailer as a storage shed for them.
10,000 Hot Wheels.
Oh my.
Wow, that's an
Oh
issue.
my.
That's a hoarding issue right there.
That
yeah.
is, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, ready for more?
Yep.
Sorry, I lost my place. Penny says tonight's final closet night here. Tomorrow before work, dropping whatever I have in a donation box. 2 bags so far and shooting for 4. Yay!
Oh,
very
yeah.
And Kathy says I have a spreadsheet with all my bills, due dates, amount due, and the balance left to pay it off. That's
Well,
helpful.
yeah.
It's helpful if you use it.
If you use it.
Well,
Try to
it's-
keep things simple,
She
but
has a
that's...
question.
It's also, hang on a second, Dave. It's also helpful because, like, for me, if we don't get a bill, I don't necessarily remember that we didn't get a bill from that place.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that
to have
And
helps
if
that.
you don't get a bill and you get a late notice, call them and tell them.
Yeah. If you call
Yeah.
people and explain things.
Yes, Dave?
So, Jamie Parks says, Tara, how do you store your soap that's curing? How do you keep track of the cure dates?
So I have a really complicated system. I have them on some wire shelves, and I have a Post-it note that says November 25th or December 12th, and that's the day that it's done, and that's how I do it. I'll maybe show my soap room one day that I just created now that I'm not making soap anymore. I don't know. I think I'll probably end up doing soap. I just need a break probably for January and see if I can get my house in order, and which I'm going to do with you guys. But yeah, that's what I do. I just have these wire shelves that I have. Oh man, I hate these wire shelves. I have hated them since we lived in Idaho 15 years ago. But every blasted house we moved to, I have used
They
them.
work. Yeah.
I have used them, and they are the biggest pain in the rear to set up because you have to knock corners together, and I'll show maybe in a video.
I know.
They're a
I've
pain.
helped you with those. They're a nightmare.
But I have them out in my shipping room. I have them in the boys' room. Now I moved some to my soap room.
You can turn them up to make bins out of them if you needed to.
I use them for
But they're a nightmare to put
everything.
together. Mhm.
But
What kind of bins? Trash bin?
Regarding what you guys said about the closet, Debbie said I do the same thing, but mine is one of the folded shoe things that hangs down, and I have gloves in one, hats in one, scarves in one, etc.
Yeah.
Those are so awesome. Sharon wants to know, how can I motivate my grown married daughter? Her house is a mess. I've gone over and totally cleaned and organized for her, but it goes
can't.
right back.
Okay. You don't.
it's your daughter's problem, not yours.
You just have to let it go. That's part of being the mom of a grown married daughter. You just have to let it go. And like she said, it's her home, and you can set an example by keeping your home together and clean, but that's all you can do.
And it's certainly going to make it worse if you nag her about it.
Oh, it'll
So,
be much worse. Yeah.
The more you mention it, the more resentful she's going to get.
And it's going to put a wedge between you, and that's not worth it.
I would just
so-
take off my glasses when I go over
Take
there.
off your glasses. Dave?
Pat, I'll just say Pat, said, I have a mother-in-law suite attached to the house and my other brother lives in there. They're both disabled. So I'm guessing that's why he has 10,000.
Oh, well,
Oh,
then that's
yeah.
totally
Yeah,
different.
that's different. Mhm.
That's totally different thing then. Yeah.
Yeah. Joan says I have 4 garbage bags full of good used clothing to donate. Great job, Joan.
Yes.
good.
You guys, I'm really
glad.
impressed with everybody.
And Anna says, what are your thoughts on online banking, electronic bills? I hardly get any bills by mail anymore.
I'll
I
let
love
Mike
it.
address that.
Yeah, if it works for you, do that. Find a method that works.
I used to be paranoid about it, but I think that my desire to have less clutter has overcome the paranoia.
The problem is it hasn't stopped the bills for us, really.
No.
They still keep sending us
Some of the
bills.
companies still send us the paper bills anyway, like our water company. And I've asked them, I said 3 different times, I've signed up for paperless statements. How come I'm still getting them? And with us, I hesitate to have them automatically take stuff out. So,
I see you over there.
So
I know.
with us, some of our bills are really small, like a regular $20 a month bill. And those I actually have it automatically due. But it does report to me when it's paid it, and I check to make sure that it's not like $87,000 all of a sudden. But then there the ones that are really big, or bigger ones like our mortgage, I have it
Credit card.
tell me that it's due, but I actually have it wait till I go there and click pay. And different things like that. And then like the credit card that we use, we have a credit card for the business and one for the personal. And for those, the amount fluctuates all the time because we pay it off every month, but some months it's bigger or smaller. And on those, I always go pay those individually. And I look through every transaction. So
Yeah.
anyway, we
Maybe-
like the online.
Use what method works for you. That's the most important thing to help.
And for our business, some of the stuff that we can write off on those bills, instead of saving all the individual bills, I can just print a list from that place, just one list that I can keep the record of all that for the year. So
Yeah.
Karen says I have a lot of trouble organizing. I don't have a lot of cupboard space, and I don't have a pantry on my first floor. Need help as I have trouble going up and down the stairs all day.
Well, what I do is I don't have a lot of cabinets either. I have a very, very tiny house. And even like with my bathroom, it's very moderate.
No, watching that.
My bathroom, for example, I have no place to put towels. I have no closet for towels or anything. And I don't have like a big medicine cabinet. There is no space in my bathroom to put toiletries, nothing. So I kind of make do the best I can. You know, I store the towels in the spare bedroom. You find places, you know, closest
Can
to
you
that
get a
room.
bookshelf and put a little curtain over
Yeah,
it?
do
or-
something like that. You know, you just look in other areas to find. You first of all, you got to get down as far as you can.
Do you have
And-
space under your couch in your living room where you could get one of those sliding bins where you could put
Look
stuff?
for odds
you
and
know?
end places. I have just a little tiny space between my refrigerator and the end of my cabinet, and that's where I squeeze my trash can into. You know, I bought a trash can that'll fit into there. So you just have to kind of look around and see.
If your table butts up against a wall and you don't sit on the far end, can you put something under there, like a rolly cart or something that you could pull out, you know?
I have a short refrigerator, so I keep a little basket thing up there, you know, that I can store stuff up there. Just find little holes and spots.
Yeah.
Even like Tara's got a bench at the end of her table that the boys sit on, but she made sure that the lid lifts up and she can store things in on that bench. So you could do that with your table, put a little bench that the lid can lift
Yeah.
up and everything.
And what I did, I didn't have a very big pantry in my closet, so I made my coat closet my pantry, and then I hung hooks on the wall for our coats. So think out of the box. Do you have a closet or something that you could put those coats or something somewhere else?
Another
Or-
thing, big pans that you don't use but maybe once every couple of weeks, store those like in the garage. Have a little shelf or something to
In the
store
basement,
anything.
yeah.
Seasonal things like Christmas glasses, cups, stuff that you don't use very often. Store them in another room and just leave the cabinets for the stuff you use on a regular basis.
Yep. Robin is reminding everyone to make sure when you donate clothes that they don't have holes or they're not faded or in bad shape.
Yeah.
It isn't
Yes.
good for you. It isn't good for the less fortunate.
No, don't give bad stuff away.
Yeah.
You know.
And what were you asking about, Robin? Because we haven't seen you for...
Yeah, I Facebooked
Yes.
you, Robin, and was just wondering how you were doing because I haven't seen you for a while. So it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
And Liz says my house will be paid for in September. Woohoo!
Oh,
Yay!
that'll be
Good
so
job.
good.
Awesome.
That'll be unbelievable for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Laura says, so motivated, decluttering and minimalizing feels great. Selling on a buy sell Facebook page what I don't use anymore and don't need. When I buy things now, I stop and think, is it a need or a want?
Yeah.
She says,
yeah.
I love recycling too.
It changes the whole way you look at everything once you get the things out of the house.
Yeah.
And Lizzie Caesar says, tons of tools in our garage. I do not know how to begin to sort them, and I can't make my husband help. And Joan, by the way, commented to her saying, throw out some by accident. And he might help out.
Yeah, the garage, you
You may just have to leave it for
yeah,
him
if
to deal
it's
with.
his domain, you may have to. I would get a little toolkit of my own to keep in the kitchen or in my own. I have a pink toolkit that's mine,
Yeah.
and that's all I use, and I just let my husband's tools be his
Just get
tools.
a little tiny toolbox, to keep for you if you're not finding the hammer and stuff.
But
and
if you decide to do it on your own, just pile up put all like screwdrivers together or all like pliers together, and then look and see, do I have 10 of the same size and same type of pliers, and then just only save like 2 of them and get rid of the rest. And do that with the screwdrivers. You don't need 25 of the same
Nope.
size Phillips head screwdrivers. And so if you do it yourself, just do like everything else. Do I need 10 of these? And just keep it down, you know.
Laura said, I have 2 bills online. I worry about it. If I get sick, how will my kids do my bills? You know, if you
Keep
you
an
think
if
you're gonna
I
get
die
s-
file.
If you think you're going to get sick or something, or you might, keep a
If I
a
die
list
file.
saying
Yeah.
something about the bills and referring to where it is that they can find
Yeah,
out that
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
And that's a good file to have, talking about organizing. Like at my age, I need to have.
What, Mother? Did you
At my
finally
young
admit
age.
that you're not 29 anymore?
I like to keep, and husbands and wives need to do this, to have a file of how to, funeral arrangements and where to find everything that the kids or your spouse would need to look for. Keep just a little notebook of that.
Speaking
and it'll
of
make
which,
it easier
dear,
for them.
We're going to be toast if you croak, and I need to get into stuff.
Yeah, you need to think about that for husbands and wives,
I'm
to
looking
have a
at something.
special file thing, so that they can know.
There's a question about
But
the
then she's
camera.
going to say, now where is that special file thing? Kelly,
Oh,
I think
I
this was
see.
referring to Karen's
Dave
question.
was looking at the camera. Someone asked what we were doing. I'm wondering what his eyeball was there.
Dad, what model is this camera?
It's a Logitech 930C, I think. Kelly says, I fill up an empty laundry basket and take stuff to restock the kitchen from my stockpile room.
Oh.
That would be helpful,
yeah.
And Tamara says, I got inspired and dropped off 4 bags of clothes at our local ministry today. Yay!
Good job.
Really good.
Let's see. Joan says, my lids to my Tupperware always disappear.
Yeah, and once that happens,
Well,
one thing. Go ahead.
Mike, can you go to YouTube and find how I organize my plastic stuff? I have a specific shelf for just my plasticware.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all my containers. I only buy 2 kinds, 2 different sizes. No, 3 kinds. I buy 3 kinds. A 1/2 cup, a 5 cup, and a 2.5 cup. And I keep all of the bowls, the bottoms stacked on one side, and I have a little shoebox where I stack all of the lids. And then I just interchange them, and I don't...
And I don't have room for a shoebox or anything like that because I don't have much cabinet space, but I have a little letter holder divider, the little small, like we did for file folders.
Mhm.
And it's real small, and you can divide, it has like 5 divider sections in it, and I leave that in my cabinet, and I put the the lids in there, in like a letter divider type thing.
Well, and for ours, we also, I didn't hear you say this part, but,
There.
what?
Right
Oh,
here.
right there. For ours, we also buy the semi-disposable ones so that when the lids get lost, we don't worry too much about it. And we, even though they're semi-disposable, we use them until they really need to be disposed of.
And speaking of buying inexpensive ones, I go after Christmas, like right about now, and they have a lot of green and red, what do I want?
Dave, can
Plastic
you go bring me a
containers on
container and a
sale.
lid?
We got one year, 50 cents they were for Rubbermaid,
They were 25 cents.
for Rubbermaid containers with their lids because
was
they
a
were red
4-pack.
green. Yeah, it was a 4-pack. And because it was off season, Christmas was over, we got a whole basket full of those types of
So
things.
here's the kind that I get, and this one's about on its way out. But these are just, so this is what I get. This is the one size. But the one year that we found these in red and green. And also what we did was they had 90% off that day. And they had all of their Christmas plates, all of their Christmas cups. They had all of it 90% off. So what we did was we got, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 shopping carts full of Christmas china, these kinds of things, the cups, the towels, and
Towels,
the pot
you can get throw
holders.
rugs.
And we donated them to a local, it's like a children's home, but they were starting apartments for teen girls who were homeless and didn't have homes to teach them how to do housekeeping and stuff. And they were so thankful
Yeah.
for that. They really needed dishes and that kind of thing. And we got like 3 shopping cart full for like $100.
Oh, we didn't even spend
It was
it wasn't
crazy
that much,
cheap.
No.
It was 90%. It was
Yeah.
90% off on everything, and it was not hardly. I mean, it was really, really cheap. And I think she ended up saying we were able to stock, I think it was 10 or 12 homes with all this needed,
With the house goods
yeah,
that
with
they
all the
needed.
house goods they needed. So
Yeah. Kelly said, I once came home late from work, put a TV dinner in the microwave, and found it 2 weeks later still in the microwave. You must not use your microwave very much, Kelly. It must be pretty, probably stays pretty clean most of the time.
Yeah.
And Valerie says, I have 2 bags of clothes and 2 totes of Christmas items I never used this year ready to go.
Oh,
Yay!
I can't believe how many are going for it.
And Sherry said, people drive me nuts when they don't put things back where they go.
You missed
Yeah.
it.
don't get me started.
I did a huge bubble. You missed
That
it.
is my biggest pet peeve with the kids. Is
Oh, no.
I don't know how hard it is when the silverware's been in the same drawer for 5 years, putting it in there.
The problem
But
is, I don't know that it's
I
ever
let
going
it
to be
go.
resolved.
I let it go. I
no.
let it go.
Short of putting in security cameras and tracking down the culprit every time.
Oh my goodness, who me does it every single morning.
Kumi, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not me, excuse me,
Not
not
me,
me does it
not
every
me.
single morning.
Yeah.
I did not do it. Not me did it.
Stella says my husband will not let me even put a mop in his garage. He knows once I put one thing in there, it'll take over. So let's see. Kathy said I got started on doing papers today, got some thrown away, but have plenty more to do tomorrow. But it's a start. Yay.
job.
Yeah, and are you guys feeling good? Really, you probably are feeling pretty good after all this.
Makes me feel awesome to get rid of it. Sherry says I have 6 boxes to donate.
Good
Wow.
job.
Let's see. We already talked about that one. Stella says I make a stack of bills as they come in and I sit down and pay those. I have a few online, but I keep forgetting about them. If you check your email regularly, they'll email it to you, but it's important to have an email address that you can see your spam folder, because some email addresses you don't see that. But you need to find out what email they're supposed to come from, and you can mark it, you can whitelist it or mark it on a safe senders list, so that way you'll never not get that email. And ours, if the email doesn't go through, they'll send us a letter saying, hey, we tried to tell you about your bill, but the email didn't come through. Sharon says, I got a Neato. It's a robotic vacuum. I keep the floor picked up. It vacuums the whole house daily, and I just mop as needed.
Okay.
Yeah, Mom loves hers.
I got a Roomba, and that has changed my life, having a Roomba. I love it, because what happens, one year I had to all of a sudden come back here 3 days earlier than I'd planned. Well, the kitchen was a mess from baking, and so I just set my Roomba up, and he started vacuuming while I washed the dishes, and I finished packing up. And so the house was clean by the time I left then, by just having him running around vacuuming.
Did you say he?
Best thing, yes. I even have him named.
She's humanized her vacuum.
His name is Bob, and I love him.
Yes. Sharon says I donate extra linen to the women's shelter, and then old towels and old linen to the animal shelter.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah.
That's
a good
perfect,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah. And Beth says I work in a charity shop. We like to say donate.
But we want you to dump it out of your house. I don't care if it goes to the charity shop. I don't care if it goes to your friends or family and they need it, or some
Or in
family
the trash.
or
You know-
trash. But get it out of your house.
For the moment, you may have to trash a lot of
Yeah.
stuff just to get you to release it,
Yeah. Sharon, regarding the bill, says I have a small white book next to the computer for passwords not saved on the computer. Yeah, the thing is, some people worry about writing down the passwords, but
I keep mine written down.
It's not a problem to write them down, really. The people that would try to get them are not even in the same country as you, probably.
Yeah.
So writing them down is just perfectly fine, I would say. Unless you have nuclear codes or something on your computer.
Yes, Liz. Liz. Oh, I love
Did I miss
Liz.
it? Where was it?
She said, what was it she said? Liz.
Was it up here further?
Oh no, what'd she say? I look 29 or something.
Oh, yes.
And you missed that on purpose, didn't you,
Oh, I
Michael?
think you didn't need to know that one. She looks 29, yes.
Yes, thank you, Liz.
She's not 29, no. She's not even close. She's like 57.
35 or something?
57.
Yeah, Deborah says that's so true. Oh, yeah, Deborah says that's so true about the file. My dad died and my mom had a hard time getting into their accounts.
And it's a hard time anyway, the stuff you're going through, to have to deal with all the paperwork and everything, to have it ready for your family.
Susan says my father has a folder on his computer labeled I am dead, so I guess no worries. Well, it's funny because I did put some stuff in our safe in a folder that said if I die. And there's actually a file on my computer but I don't know if Tara would remember
I
that.
didn't know that.
but it doesn't have as much stuff in it.
Not
as
that
I
it
should
works
put.
to search for anything.
But that's another
Yeah.
thing. I always recommend. There's always one or the other of a marriage that they do the bills and the other one doesn't do the bills. But I really recommend, even if the one does the main part of the bills, to sit down and look through them, watch the paperwork, and then the other person can go write the checks. But you need to both know what's going on with the bills and what everything you have.
Yeah, and Sherry says we have a legacy box for all the important papers and a notebook for bills.
Yeah, you both need to know those things.
I guess I should make up more of that. April says I have teenagers. There have been mornings where I go put something in the microwave and they had a cooked pizza the night before and forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't even say teenagers.
It's like teenagers come from another planet. We don't understand what they say. We don't understand what they're doing.
What they can eat.
What they can eat.
Yeah.
Sugar all day long.
Patty says, I love that many of your organizing tips are in your Dining on a Dime cookbook. I'm thoroughly enjoying my purchase.
We do have a lot of
So
things.
we have a whole section at the beginning on how to get organized.
And then we have
and
cleaning.
Then also, like at the beginning of each section, oh no, I licked my finger and turned the page.
Ew!
So like at the beginning of each page, we have tips for each of that. And then at the bottom, we'll have, if we had extra space, we'll put more tips. We really filled it full. Really, guys, there's 1,200
Well, there's a whole section on
recipes
cleaning.
and
We
tips.
got a section on cleaning
Yeah,
at the
there's
back
a whole
of the book.
section on right here.
Organizing the
cleaning sense.
kitchen, cleaning.
Yep.
Yeah, Lindsay said I try to have my husband help every once in a while with the bills so he knows where to log in so he could pay them if he had
Yeah,
to.
you need to keep the other one informed.
And Jen says my mother-in-law gives us things she wants to get rid of. We just say thank you and pass them on to Goodwill.
And you know what I have found with that? If you tell people no, they're not going to ever give you anything. So I always accept it and just move it on
If I
to the
can't
thrift
use it,
store
I
or
give
the
it to
trash.
somebody else. Yeah.
Because then they might give you something of value that you can use. And for me, I'm always going to the thrift store anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to haul an extra box of stuff when I go. So, yeah.
I have two things.
Yeah.
I have cookbook link on YouTube. Nan, how much did your Roomba cost?
Okay, I got mine quite a while ago, so it was close to 300. But it was like 265, 270. The best deal, actually, I think they had them on Lowe's just the week before I came, so for 200 and something. Get a medium priced one. You don't need the high end one, but don't get the cheapest one. And also, I got mine off of HSN because right before Christmas, they usually have a sale on them, right before Christmas and everything. The thing is, I beyond highly recommend them. They do everything they say they're going to do and then some. I have like several of my friends I've recommended, just 4 of them I can think of off the top of my head are so excited that they got theirs. They're great for if you have an elderly mother, if somebody's disabled and can't vacuum. They really do everything and more. Underneath my bed is vacuumed every time I vacuum because it just runs underneath my bed and vacuums for me. Underneath end tables that I normally would have to get down with a special attachment to do, it cleans under there. Like I said, I can't say enough about them. So, as you can tell.
Looks like BJ has a question.
BJ loves my Roomba too, don't you, BJ?
I actually saw them on sale at Walmart last night.
Oh, they're on sale at Walmart. BJ just said
How much it was, but I thought it was really cheap.
Yeah, BJ said they're on sale. He saw them on sale at Walmart last night. And for any of you that know anything about batteries, after many, many years, the battery finally died on me, and BJ fixed it for me, so you can do those yourself.
Oh, Daquan, I hope it hasn't been too long since you posted this, but Daquan asked us to please say hi, Deidre, so that my family will see why I look at your show every day.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
And Always New Time said I keep a few throws in a bag in case we break down.
Oh, yeah.
You do that too.
Jamie wants to know if you're not feeling well because you look really pretty tonight.
Says you look really pretty
Well,
tonight, so
thank
you must be
you.
feeling
Well,
well.
I think she
It's
probably
her
remembers
hair.
that I said before that you get all
Pasty.
pasty and everyone says how you look beautiful like a Chinese.
Puts her hair up. up on top
I did
of her
my
head.
first bun. What does
Yeah.
everybody think of my first bun?
I love her hair up.
I don't know if we answered this one, but Philosophy Phoenix said any tips on decluttering and organizing bathroom products and toiletries. We always seem to end up with lots of products overflowing.
You know, you've got to get rid of that stuff.
Well,
If you
use it.
Yeah, well, first of all, like if you have 5 half-full bottles of shampoo, if you're not
Combine
using it
them.
on your hair, use it for something else, to
Hand
shampoo.
soap, clean the dog.
Clean the dog, anything, just get it up. But if you don't think you're going to be using it, then you may just have to go ahead and get rid of it. If you have old makeup, go through your makeup. I was really bad about keeping my makeup for a long time, and the color didn't look good on me. That stuff you can't really donate if you've
breeds
used
bacteria
it. Yeah, and it
after
gets
so
bacteria.
long.
So
Maybe
just
those-
be ruthless. For example, if you have 5 red lip liners and you don't really use them that much, just keep one and get rid of the rest of them. You just have to get in there, and this is one place where you paid for something and you keep it stored. It's like punishment to you. It's because I paid money on it. I can't let myself get rid of it even though I'm not using it. Clean that stuff out and get rid of it. Don't have hardly any.
Becky and Jamie and Mama Jen and Carol and a lot of other people said that your bun is really pretty.
Thank you.
It's so short though. Like all the girls at school, they have it in this really, really big.
Well, it's because my hair's not that long.
Oh yeah.
Candy said, I keep my makeup in a purse organizer insert and place it in the bathroom cabinet. It's easy to retrieve, use, and replace.
Yeah.
And Family Roots Farm says, I cleaned out my closet on clothes I don't wear and brought it to a secondhand store and made $40.
Wow, that's
$40?
good. Yeah. Yeah, you can take them to consignment shops and actually make money off of your good clothes, nicer clothes,
Yeah.
more expensive ones.
And Pallavi was asking stationery supplies. I'm actually thinking of giving them away, like pens and markers and paper clips.
Yeah, and
Your
just
church might be able to use them for Sunday
I was
school
going to say,
classes.
just recently, the boys' home, our church was asking for supplies for them. So you just need to check out
Children's home.
Children's home can use supplies.
Yeah, and let's see. The gymnastics channel is asking, when does Jill go home?
When do I go? I go home in the
30
morning.
minutes. She's leaving
And I'm
our
leaving
house
them
tonight.
in 30 minutes. And then
Tomorrow she's leaving
Yeah.
Colorado.
No, Nan.
And were you,
Before
Do you
you
wanna
leave,
come
I
give
have to
Nan a
back
hug,
up everything
BJ?
off the computer. That's mine.
were you guys talking about basket organizing? I might have missed that, but Denise says, Hope Cass of Clutterbug didn't hear you saying bad things about basket organizing. She
I
sure
know,
loves
she
her
loves
baskets.
it. Yeah, she loves her baskets. She told me that when we interviewed her.
And they do have their place. They really
Yeah.
do. They were.
Yeah. And Pat said, since I had foot surgery, I can only wear tennis shoes, so it's easy to organize my shoes. I only have 3 pairs. I finally got rid of my boots since I can't wear them.
There's always a positive to these things.
Well, and as much as, for any kind of organizing, as much as possible, if you can just eliminate things, it
That's
makes
the
life
whole
so much
secret,
easier.
yeah.
She also says, my brother has 10,000 Hot Wheels. He lives in
Oh,
my
yeah,
house and
so
uses
yeah.
his trailer as a storage.
Dave said that.
Oh,
yeah.
did you already get part? Denise says you should build a granny flat for Jill so she doesn't have to go home.
Yeah, we were just discussing
We'd
that.
like to, we
but
weren't
she doesn't
sure.
want to live here now, so so we'll just have to do the show ourselves without Nan.
Christine's asking if you're going to your son's or driving after dark. Hope
What
not.
I do is my folks live about 30 miles away from Tara and Mike, so
Closer to Kansas.
closer
Yeah.
to Ken. So I'm spending the night with them. So I'm driving down there and spend the night with them, and then I'm leaving in the morning.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking to see any that David
She
might have
stays
missed
with
over
my
here.
grandparents. She doesn't stay with us.
Yeah, that way I can spend time with them, and then I come first thing in the morning and stay with Tara and Mike all day while they make me work.
I assume you didn't answer this already, but Kelly asks, you get an item and you're like, that would be great for this or that, and I keep it, but I don't usually do what I think I'm going to do. Just get rid of it or give it a time?
Yep.
frame?
Yes, that's
If you really think you're going to use something, so like I have baskets out here that I don't really use, but I keep needing baskets for different, things. If I don't use them in a certain time frame, then I get rid of them. So it's okay to keep things for a little while, but if you're keeping them for years and years,
Also,
no.
I have a certain shelf, like jars that I'm going to use once in a while, but I have a lot of space, and if that space gets full, then I either try to get rid of something and just,
And guys, if you live like we do, where there's thrifts, really good thrift stores and stuff like that, it costs $1 or $2 to replace some of these things. So don't
be
stress
buying
yourself out.
shelving to store this stuff on when you can get them for.
Yeah, yes, Dave.
Andrea, I think, says, Jill, can you be my mom also, please?
Oh, you.
Yeah, so we're going to auction Mom off. Highest bidder can have her.
She's done with me.
Mike and I will take the proceeds.
She's used me for 2 weeks now to get what she needs, and now she's ready to auction me
my
off.
basement's still a disaster.
Carol said, use the grocery list in the book, and I was in and out of the store. Thanks.
Oh, good.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So we have a
People
grocery
don't.
list
We have a
in
whole
here.
grocery list that you can just
Where'd the grocery
use.
list go? Where's the grocery list?
And to help you when you go to the grocery store if you need it.
Right here, page 19,
You can make copies of this too.
20, and 21. These are all things that you should keep in your pantry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Liz said, I'm even organizing at work.
That's good.
See, everybody wants you to be auctioned off.
Oh, are they asking?
That's what all the hearts are for.
Liz says, I have a big old black lab, same as a Roomba.
Oh, that's true. I know.
Yeah,
We often call Buster over and say, okay, get Buster when we spill something.
Or
Yeah.
something different happens.
Oh, and Debbie said we downsized from 3,000 square foot house to a 1,400 square foot apartment. It was a lot of work purging and donating, but what a relief that it's done. I think
Yeah,
my husband
yeah.
thinks he's next.
Amy will buy
Thinks
you.
he's next.
Amy
Yeah.
will buy you, Nan.
Oh, thank
In
you,
Australia?
Amy. And I want to. Oh, Amy,
Ooh,
please
no.
put a high bid in. I'll pay behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I want to go to Australia too.
Absolutely. Let's see.
See, I think we should do a travel show. And then we can take it off on our taxes and we can visit all these people and entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Lori Ann says we inherited my husband's grandmother's house. They lived in the house 72 years. We cleaned out all 72 years worth in 3 weeks. Then we
Wow.
remodeled it in 2 months by ourselves. I've been on a huge binge for a year.
Wow, that was work.
Wow.
You did
That's a
good.
lot.
Yeah.
72 years.
I
Oh my
know.
goodness.
I can't
Wow.
even imagine.
And Cheryl said I have a small plant stand bookshelf with toll pattern shelves, and it's now what I keep teepee and other stuff on. It's small, but just the right size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Holly,
Use
oh,
what
sorry.
use what you have around the house, or what will fit into
Well,
the
and
space
Dave,
you
go
need.
bring me our toilet paper holder. So I'll show you my toilet paper holder that I made. I
We
was gonna do a
studied
tour of
we
the
studied
bathroom.
this for how long, trying to find a toilet paper holder for
So I
you.
have a small bathroom, but we have 7 people, and it's really, I had nowhere to put my toilet paper or towels or anything really. I have a closet outside of the outside of the bathroom that I can put all that stuff.
We've
kind
lost
of.
all our moderators here.
But it's hard because it's not convenient to get to. When you're sitting on the pot and you run out of TP to open the door
And it's
go
stored in a
out-
closet all the way out.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And you can't reach under the bathroom sink. So what happened to you? Oh.
Oh.
So I made this. Here, Dave will show you.
No, I won't. You will.
You get
Oh
it?
yeah.
So I made this to slide between our toilet and the wall. Okay? And I made a little splash guard here.
Splash guard.
Really, Mom?
Ew. But true.
Because we have
She has boys.
4 guys in the house. So then I just took these dowel rods, and this is just plastic, corrugated plastic that someone gave me a greenhouse panel, and I just cut this, and I had this board for free. I got these dowels for 50 cents, and I just drilled a hole, and put a dowel rod in there, and then we just stacked the toilet paper on there, and I even have a place for the plunger.
So see, use
So,
what you can and
yeah.
figure out, okay, why is this not working and how can I fix it? You know, if you think about it.
Oh, Lisa says, unfortunately, my husband keeps all our financial stuff at work. I don't have access to it at all. He refuses to share it with me. I'm truly afraid what will happen if something happens to him.
Well, that's a marriage problem.
Yeah.
If he's not
Yeah.
sharing the finances with you, I would suggest counseling because that is not
That's not really
that is not a good
at
thing.
all.
No,
it's
that
not.
is not good. You need to get some
Something's wrong.
counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of a control issue.
that's definite issues there.
Holly said I saw a cute idea where someone found a wooden wine rack at Goodwill and hung it up and stored rolled up towels in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. And Pallavi says it's midnight here. I'm trying to stay awake.
Just watch
Thank you for
it
staying
later.
with us.
But
Yeah.
thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's faithfulness.
And Penny said I got more Christmassy cookie cutters at 70% off because I love Nan's sugar cookies so
Oh, very good.
much. Did you send her some?
No,
Oh,
she just
okay.
made it for
Yeah,
the book.
Kim said, what are the 2 extra chapters in Dining on a Dime that are not and not just beans?
Cleaning scents and
Pretty for penny.
Pretty for pennies. Cleaning scents and pretty for pennies.
So we have a section on
our
cleaning.
bath and beauty, and then homemade cleaners, bath and beauty products, and homemade cleaners.
Yeah. Let's see. Looking for more here.
And there's 40 other recipes that are new in here also.
Andrew says I'm a consignor to resale shop and we love donations. It keeps our doors open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking to see what other comments we have. I got through my list, but there's lots more. Dave, anything you see? Sorry, I'm usually ahead of the questions.
Dave's,
We caught up.
Dave's blowing bubbles behind the scenes.
Old-fashioned bubble
Oh.
gum.
Sharon
You
says
learned how to blow bubbles yesterday.
No, I didn't. I've not had to forever. It's
Oh, you
just
just don't ever get
we
bubble
don't
gum?
get to.
So show him your big bubble while Dad's looking for
No.
questions. Oh.
Sharon said I put all my favorite recipes on Pepper Plate app. You can plan menus, plan shopping lists, increase the size of the recipes easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that app.
And what I do for menu planning is I had a list where for 2 weeks, every time I fixed dinner, I would write down on one page of the notebook, main dishes. I would write down like what I had for a meat dish. And then on another, salads on another page that I write down what we had for a salad and like side dishes. So that at the end of 2 weeks, I had 14 main dishes, 14 salads, 14 sides. So I would just go in and look then, okay, I need this. I could use ham for this day and this salad for that day. And I could just have the list right there to help me decide. That's another whole thing
Yeah.
though.
Turin says like your new Twitter account. Yay.
Oh, yes. We're on Twitter. If everyone wants to follow us, we're Living on a Dime. If you were following
At Living on a Dime.
If you were following Living on a Dime before 3 days ago, that was not us. So someone had taken our name. So we got our name back, and we have Living on a Dime on Twitter now. So we are tweeting. I'm not sure what I'm tweeting about, but I'm tweeting.
We had a question about crafts. Was there a question about what to do with craft stuff? I thought I saw
Yes,
somebody ask.
yes. I was about to, let's see. Louise says I'm finding it hard to get rid of my craft things.
Okay, sewers and crafters, I know the heartbreak and the pain that it is. But, you know, if you really haven't got the project done for a long time, you need to go ahead and just try to get rid of it. You can get some new stuff, convince yourself you can get some new stuff. But if this helps any, I have a quilt bee, and a lot of the ladies bring their stacks of fabric they haven't used for quite a while. We have a large tote that we put it in there, and we say whoever wants it can take it, you know, use it, borrow it, or use it, get something new. But you know, people have given me things. Given me fabric. Tara just gave me a whole bag of flannel that I really needed, and I couldn't go out and buy it. And you don't realize there are a lot of people who would love to do the crafts and would love to sew, especially like places like the children's home where they have the older girls and the detention center, women's shelter.
Yeah.
They need this. They're desperate for the craft supplies, and you would be helping somebody out if you're not going to use that stuff and get around to it. A lot of us have stuff we'll never get done in our lifetime, so why not give it to somebody to use? And then also, like our church takes donations of yarns and fabric and that type of stuff, because the ladies of the church then will, you know, I can't afford to go buy yarn to make scarves to give away, but when the donations come in at church, then I use that yarn to make scarves and hats and things to give to homeless shelters. So, you know, try to release it that way. I know you love that stuff and it's hard to get rid of, but you need to just be brave like any place else.
Let it go.
Yeah, and let it
go.
you know, do that.
Denise says don't get Tupperware in the UK mostly. Lock and Lock are cheap rubbish. Not sure what that is, but...
So,
Oh, Amy says, hi guys, Happy New Year from South Africa.
wow.
She's
Wow.
She's usually in Australia.
Oh.
So she says,
Oh, that's right. I
2
forgot you were
a.m.
going.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, mercy.
Oh, Amy, you
Oh.
are beyond.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
I forgot she was going there. That's right.
Butterscotch says, hey there, is there a cheap way to make shelving for your garage?
Yes, there is. Well, we do cinder. You can do cinder blocks with just old planks.
Go
That's
to
what.
thrift stores and look for
Yeah, look
shelving.
at
They
thrift
have it all the time.
stores, things like that. But if you get the cheap, inexpensive boards, sometimes you can even find them in a dump. You were getting all that
Free
stuff.
Cycle and Craigslist
Use
and
bricks.
dumpsters. And
You could use bricks with the boards in between. You could
garage
also,
sales.
like if you have a bunch of old books or something, you can stack those up and use
Or if you
them.
like us and you have 2,500 of the same cookbook, you could use the boxes of books to make shelving.
Well, and another thing is if you've got like a sturdy wooden box, you could set it this way so it's facing out, and then you could put use 2 of them, and then put a board across, and so then you can use it as for the shelving part, but you can also store things inside of there. Does that make sense? Did I explain that right?
Yep. Robin asked, how do you organize your freezer? I tend to throw away too many meats. How long can you keep your hamburger or chicken or roasts? Is 6 months too long?
No, 6
in the
months
freezer.
is not too.
No.
You can keep it up to 9 months.
We're almost
What
out
I
of that,
try to do is keep all my meats on one shelf and all my veggies on one shelf and all my fruit on one shelf and then all my miscellaneous on another shelf and then my popsicles and ice cream on my other shelf.
Woo.
Now, once again, the children do not always keep it that neat, but I do go through every 2 months or so and try and reorganize it and bring everything from the back forward and start getting it used up. Make a list of what you need to use up in there and try to use it up in the next couple of weeks or.
Yeah, and if you can, it's harder for freezers, but every couple of times right before you go to the grocery store, like the day before, go through it, a couple of shelves of it, to look to see what you have, and then you'll know what to pull out and use and what to buy to go with it at the grocery store the next day.
Yep. Let's see. Kathleen says hi from Scotland. Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, hello.
Sherry said, want to subscribe to you guys, but I'm in Canada. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can subscribe to us if you're in Canada, but she also said, do you guys send books to Canada? Are we still trying to do that?
Yeah. I don't know. A couple of people have been having problems, so I need you to check on that. But
Okay. We had
yeah,
trouble
we
sending
were
them, and we were
shipping 'em.
trying to see if we could do it again. We weren't sure.
yeah.
Andrea said, Tara, my daughter's filled up a box full for donating.
Yay, very good.
And one thing about kids, when you explain to them that the stuff's going to go to help other people, they're amazing. Kids are. Most kids have really good hearts, and they're more encouraged to donate their stuff.
Yeah. Anne said, my husband passed away January 17th, will make 3 years ago, and I was so lost with all the bills as he did it all. I'm still dealing with stuff that pops up now and then.
Yeah, this is a big thing that people never think about doing is, both of them knowing.
And a lot of people are saying they love your blue shirt.
Oh,
So it's
thank
pretty.
you. Thank you.
Candy says, if you vacuum every day, how often do you empty?
Oh, my Rumba, you would be surprised. The little container really holds an awful lot. If I vacuum once a week, I can almost do the whole house. My house is very small, of course, but I can do the whole house before I have to empty it, and it's not hard at all.
And it's just her there. She doesn't
Yeah, it's
have
Yeah,
just
it's just
small.
me, so it's not too much. But it doesn't take anything. You just pull it out and dump it. But you could do 2 or 3 rooms probably, even for a family.
But it would probably be less
Yeah.
effective for us with 7 people, right?
No,
Yeah,
because the boys have done it before, and we didn't have
I know,
that much.
But when we
we
vacuum,
fill a canister
we-
almost every time. I don't think it would be
actually
good
we fill a
for
canister almost
big-
every time.
But what
we
you've
have
got
4
to realize
pets, so
that if you take 2 more seconds to empty the can twice, that's a lot less time than vacuuming a whole room.
Our
Yeah.
vacuum, if we do the entire house, we probably empty the whole canister 3 times.
Yeah, but you have to take time to do the vacuuming, so you save time,
Yeah.
in emptying.
Yeah.
I don't
Our
think it would work
experience
for
was
us,
that
but
it does light cleaning. It's not
Yeah.
super heavy duty cleaning.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all. I've had all the grandkids over there, and he's cleaned it just fine. So.
it's okay. She's been trying to convince us for years to get
Well,
one.
the thing is, I have never heard one person, I could honestly say I've never heard one person that's used it for a family or even with dogs and cats. Well, my neighbor she had a cat and 2 dogs, and he worked great with the cat and 2 dogs. So, yeah,
Mother of Many Horses asked, are they safe for somebody with mobility issues?
What? Ask what?
Are they safe with somebody with mobility issues?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to use it at night or something, so you're not tripping over it during the day if it's running.
Unless
Well,
they get
yeah.
like, completely freaked out about that kind of thing. But Pamela Levis-Gui, I don't know. Pamela says, Jill, do you knit or crochet?
Yes, I do both. Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Jonathan says, I have problems with impulse buying on Amazon in the morning before the coffee kicks in. And I think David already mentioned this, but Becky said, I commented earlier on your hair, Tara. I love it up.
Thank you.
So, and Cheryl said regarding the billing, I have a specific email just for the billing accounts.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Pat said, my boss at the Ronald McDonald House used to give me expensive girly stuff every year for Christmas, and I always donated it to the women's shelter for abused women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Jamie said, my 16-year-old keeps cleaning and putting things in the strangest places. It's hard to thank him while finding whole cabinets full of things that belong somewhere else.
I know.
I don't know. If my 16-year-old was doing that, I'd be kind of happy that they were actually cleaning it all.
Well, Mike does that to me.
Mike does that
Yeah.
too.
Well, yeah.
But at least he's helping me clean. So
I try to put things in the cabinets nearby where they are if I don't know where they go. And Pat says I keep my bills in my purse and pay them at work. I have more time at work than at home.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was working the 3 jobs. On my lunch break and even my 15-minute break, I would do my bills, anything else small I could take to work and do.
Somebody is asking, what do you do if you're a penny pincher but your husband continuously lies and is reckless with money?
Well, that
If
kind
you
of
need
gets,
counseling,
it's a marital thing then.
that's that's a marriage counseling problem, and it goes way deeper than just spending and saving.
Pat says popcorn tins are great for storage.
Yes, I
have
use those.
One full of vintage German aprons and one of German and French kitchen towels.
Yes, I use the cans too. I like those.
Yeah. Lindsay said, I actually got rid of my wedding dress. It was $99. It was in a huge box. We move every 3 years for the military. So we donate it to a place that helps trafficking victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Let's
think
see.
that's it. That's it on YouTube.
Oh, you got to the end of the questions there?
Yeah.
I was just looking through to see if I missed anything. Phyllis says prayers for going out to you for
that's
safe
sweet
travels.
of you guys.
Oh yeah, there was that too.
I can check and see if there are a few more. Are you guys wanting to wrap it? I guess you
Well,
need to
it's
get
getting
going pretty
time.
I'd
soon.
like to wrap it because Dan has to go and I have to back up everything.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like
We got everybody's
Janice
question?
did say maybe do a video on crocheting sometime.
Now, I just do basic crocheting. I don't do a lot of the fancy stitches or anything, so.
Yeah. So I guess hopefully that's the majority of the
get
questions.
everybody?
Yeah, I think I caught most of them. So, yes.
We did it. Okay.
All right.
Well, please visit us
This
at
is it.
livingondadime.com. Buy Penny Pension Mama and Dining on a Dime, please. And everyone say goodbye to Mom.
Bye, everybody!
She's leaving.
But I'm going to be on there typing in a few days.
Yeah, she's just silenced it in text only. Just how the son-in-law likes
Actually,
it.
I really kind of miss you guys. I kind of miss you guys because it feels like I can't read what you're saying here where I can read you when I get home, read your things when I get home. So
Yeah. All right. Yep. Travel safe and see all of you
thank
Wednesday.
you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, and Jack made a...
Yeah.
You can come give Nan a hug goodbye.
Mm.
Say goodbye, Nan.